There is a tendency to show Jamaica as a tropical island with beaches and resorts. We also know about the success of Jamaica when it comes to music and sports, especially track and field. But do you ever hear of Jamaica as a tech country with a good potential for future engineers? Within the last 10 years, Jamaica has been going through a lot of positive changes. And with this episode, I'm inviting you to visit a robotics competition in Kingston to see how Jamaican school children spend a weekend. And as a side effect, break a lot of stereotypes about Jamaica.
Competition? Yes? Okay, so I'm Rakesh Robinson. I'm from Arden High School and this is our team. We're here to participate in the FTC Robotics Competition. I'm passionate about engineering. That's the field I'm going to be pursuing in the future. So I do mainly STEM-based subjects like everyone else here. So that's really what got us all into this.
My name is Leon Gale. I am the Chief Engineer for Team 6899. What I do is build the robot itself, connect all the parts and ensure that it's working functionally. I am also the captain, so I ensure that each member is doing their part and that it's working fluidly. I represent Jamaica College.
And this is where we are now. So you are the home team?
Yeah, this is our home environment, so I'm used to the area here and it feels natural.
Do you think it's going to give you a little bit of advantage?
I hope so.
Good luck, guys. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay. So we're team 16187 from York Castle in St. Anne, and we are coming from an area that is outside of Kingston. We have our team members here. We're currently working on our robot. It's called Stinger, and that's because our motto, our school motto says nothing can be achieved without hard work. So the Stinger is a representation of aggression, because when we do hard work, it comes out as aggression, but in a positive way, so that we could use our robot to achieve and collect all the points. Currently, our team is having just a little few minor issues that we're hoping to resolve, but we're getting along well here together. I have a combination of drivers, engineers, and programmers, and if all goes well, God's blessings, we should do good.
It's a robotics competition that encourages students from high schools, so students under the age of 18, to actually cooperate, to collaborate and build a robot and come for a competition. There is a challenge that is issued usually around about September each year. And when that challenge comes out, it tells you all the rules and the games and the materials you can use and how to gain points. And so the competition is now the bringing together of those students forming what we call alliances. So two separate teams from different schools come together, form an alliance, and they make a team. But one team that is your alliance in one match might be your competitor in the next match. So we allow students to integrate and work together, right? So by the time the competition is over, one team will play with every other team as their alliance or their competitor. So it's kind of integrating and making sure that they recognize that although they're here to win, it's what we call gracious professionalism. You're working together, solving problems and having fun. That is a practice field, so they can go over there and practice, but these are the competition fields. So the games are going to be played on these fields here. All right, we'll play one field at a time. Once the game has ended on one field, they reset that field and they play the next game over here. The teams will be in these boxes, this box and that box. And it's two different schools that work on an alliance. So it's two robots cooperating. And then two more over there. So we have the red alliance and the blue alliance. And so it's 4 robots in here trying to get points. And there are multiple ways of getting points. On that screen will be the timer and the sound that tells when to start and when the match is over and so on. So the teams can pay attention to that. At the back there, that's where we queue up people. So when it's soon time for your match, we get a volunteer that takes you over with your robot, checks off everything is okay, so they can move you to the field that you're going to play to make things flow smoothly. Right. And over in those areas are what we call the pits. So the schools are on their tables over there, working on their robots, cooperating and trying to get things okay. Right? And we have another one on that side because of the number of schools we have here.
My name is Tariq Murray and I'm a member of the Calabar High School robotics team. On this said team, I'm the driver, the mechanical engineer and the electrical engineer for the team. Me personally, I've always been fascinated with how technology works, how robotics work. I watched a movie and said, how can I make that? How do they make it? So I always watched YouTube videos before I came to the high school, how they were engineered, how they were wired and things like that. I remember I used to have toy cars and used to take them apart just to see how the gear in the motors would work, so stuff like that. Then when I came to Calabar, they actually taught robotics in school as an educational. So that's when I first got my first real experience with robotics. So, and then I could transfer those skills that I learned in class and transfer it to the competition that we're doing now.
What is the age range?
The age range is from grade 7 to grade 13 in Jamaica. So that basically is from 12 to 18.
How old are you?
17. So next year I will be 18.
So FIRST is an international organization for inspiration and recognition of science and technology. The acronym is FOR. And so they promote science, technology across the world. And so what we have is a partnership with them to host their competitions in Jamaica.
FIRST was founded in 1989 to inspire young people's interest and participation in science and technology. It's not-for-profit public charity based in New Hampshire, United States. There are 3 types of challenges designed for different age groups and experience to compete head-to-head using a sports model. First Tech Challenge is for students in grades 7 to 12.
My name is IRIE Dennis and I'm from St. Catherine. And the school I represent is Calabar High School. I'm an engineer and a programmer for the team.
How old are you?
I'm 15.
When did you get involved in robotics?
I would say from primary school, actually. Well, I was there in 6th grade. The teacher was like, who can fix this? And I was like, okay, let me try. And then I fixed it and I also added a few attachments on it. And then she was like, whoa, you should continue that path. You are good at it. And I was like, okay. When I go in 7th grade, however, I couldn't join it because I wasn't in 9th grade at the time. So I was there. And then Corona come in, so everything stopped for me at that point. But yes, when I started 9th grade now, I heard about it, they were promoting it, and I said, yes, finally. And I went in it, and then I'm even surprised I'm on the team right now, because there's a lot of other students that's there. They're older than me, and they didn't make the team. So I'm grateful to be here.
afternoon, I am Dejane Pinto and I'm from the Convent of Mercy Academy Alpha. Currently, we're at a robotics competition and I am the lead engineer as well as programmer for our team.
I'm Trevian Johnson. I'm also from the Convent of Mercy Academy Alpha, and I am the vice captain and the spokesperson and that bridge between schools and different activities for outreach programs and so on.
All right, so the school you mentioned is the girls' school?
Yes.
Okay, brilliant. Why are you interested in this?
I do science subjects. I do the bio, the chemistry, the physics. I've always wanted to become a woman in STEM, so I don't know, I guess I have something to prove. But the physics and engineering aspect of robotics really drawed me in. When I heard about the club starting at school, I immediately had to join because it seemed fun. And you know, you have to keep building your mind, you have to learn new stuff because diversity is important. So that was what drew me to robotics and to this.
Yeah, the interest is similar. As a female, I wanted to break the patriarchy because I realized that robotics is more male dominant and we want to, as you said before, we want to prove something that women can do it as well.
We have 14 schools that are competing all together this year. Yes, and most of them are from Jamaica, and we have one from Romania.
How come the Romanians are here?
Well, it's an international organization, and we have a competition here because we have an affiliate partnership with them. And so throughout the network, teams from across the world can participate in any of the competitions in any of the countries. And so we had opened up our competition, and so they had asked if they could come, and we said okay.
Hello, my name is Robert. I'm part of the Autovortex Romanian national team, and we're in Jamaica competing in the national FTC National Jamaica contest.
How come Jamaica? Why not anywhere else, like all the way from Romania?
Yeah, well, we are a very involved team in the community, and any contest that happens, we want to be part of it. We want to train and train and train, and we keep getting better at it.
How did Jamaican people meet you here?
Our flight got delayed, so we got to the hotel late, but here at the convention they were really helpful. They just asked us if we needed anything, and they were very responsive, and yeah, it was a good, warm welcoming. I'm still a rookie in the team, but I got involved because I love robotics in general, and it's a great way for kids to learn and to get exposed to the STEM culture and the STEM field itself. It's a really great opportunity to connect with other people from the community, and it's just simply fun. It's robots, come on.
Show me your robot.
Yeah,
show
so right now we're working on it. It has 2 intakes, and it uses this extending arm to place the elements inside the tower. And yeah, we are now working on the autonomy side of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is his name?
Little Tank.
This is cool, guys.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to Jamaica.
Thank you for having us.
Here. Thank you. Teams are responsible for designing, building and programming their robots to compete in an alliance format against other teams. The robot kit is powered by Android technology, reusable from year to year, and is programmed using Java. Teams, including coaches, mentors and volunteers, are required to develop strategy and build robots based on sound engineering principles. Awards are given for the competition as well as for community outreach, design and the real-world accomplishments. Who designed the robot, the one that's taken part in this competition?
Well, it's a team effort. You know, I gave the idea for the chassis, which is the base. Someone else gave the idea for the intake, how we can collect the minerals, and someone else gave an idea for the lift system, how we can lift up the minerals to score the points. Yes. And someone else programs. But for our team, what we always try to incorporate is that not one person does one thing. You know, you don't just have one mechanical engineer and that's what you do. someone, you always have something. So an engineer is always going to have someone or something, another role on the team, because you want to have that multi-role skill. You don't want to just have one skill and then when that you don't need it or something happens to that person, there's always backups. So for this robot design, what we use for the chassis, so we use 5 omni wheels for the chassis. This is they don't have as much grip as the traction wheels. Like for this example, this one right here that we use to spin the carousel, it doesn't have enough grip. But why we use it is because we also have a center wheel in the middle, right here. One motor connect to the back, 2 motors to the back wheels right here, and have a center wheel in the middle, right here. It allows our robot to move from side to side, like something like this. We came up with this idea to allow our drivers to have a better ease of control so they can score points more efficiently. So for our intake design right here, where we got this idea from is when we saw a car wash. So think of a car wash, 2 vertical pillars, which are powered by 2 motors. It would spin counter to each other, and then these 2 motions would take in the mineral. Well, listen right here, what we use is a single motor, a Tetris motor, and we connected a gear ratio. So when the motor would spin, it would then lift the said motor and do the reverse back down. We use the Tetris rock and pin and lift system instead of a linear slide, this would say.
How long did it take you to build it?
I would say from January, so I would say about 3 months.
What is his name?
His name is Mustafa, something referring to Lion King, because our school is a lion, just like how you have other schools, they have griffins and things like that. Our school is lions. So I always want to try something like that. As in Lion King, we use that as our inspiration for a robot name.
Okay. Mustafa.
Yes.
Omega.
Omega?
Yes, because we're alpha and it's Omega.
So our robot consists of a square drive chain with 4 mechanism wheels and a linear slide. So the parts are from a Tetris kit, and we also purchased this online.
The wheels are designed to move left and right, so they're effective, so you don't have to make a 360 turn in order to turn around or to move left to right. So you can hold. Usually it's tighter than this, but it's not being controlled right now.
How long did it take you to build it?
Approximately 3 weeks.
Yeah.
How did you design the whole structure?
The team in general, we did a session where we brainstorm ideas that can compete and win the challenge, basically.
And we changed some things for the structural integrity of it.
Starts in 3, 2, 1, go! And the box is on. Just about. That means 1.
Where do you get the spare parts for it?
The spare parts, the original kit was bought online. But the thing is, because we're schools under Jamaican law, if a school wants to do something educational, they get the shipping and fees would be less. The school, the overall competition usually gives out spare parts, you could say, up there, so that we could always use them. But we didn't really feel the need to use any because we have all the parts for this robot. It's a very simple robot, what we would consider a very simple robot for this year. So we aren't allowed to, like, on the field, we can't just pick it up and then repair it. But what we can do is between the matches, we can come back to the pit area and repair him and go back onto the field.
In my day job, I'm a professor at the University of the West Indies, and it's just my charity. It's just a thing that I do. 10 years ago, I started with a group of students, and about 5 years ago, some of those students who started robotics in Jamaica decided we're going to try and bring it here, because we used to travel as a single team to go overseas, and it was costly. And so we thought we'd form a little group. We formed a charity, and so we got sponsorship from the NCB Foundation for the past number of years to be able to provide the kits and support to the schools and put on the competition. So we are greatly appreciative to the NCB Foundation for the work that they have done with us. They have allowed us to be able to give the school a kit for free. right? And to be able to do all the work that we do with our volunteers. We are a volunteer-driven organization. Every last person you see here working is a volunteer. And for the planning committee, it's a year-long endeavor of planning and coordinating and trying to raise funds and promotion and going out to the schools to work with teachers who become mentors and trying to get community to help the teams. Oh God, it's a great effort, and I'm so elated that it all culminates here. Yeah. So I'm a university, I'm an educator. I love education. I work in education. But today I am the director of the competition. So I'm tournament director along with Gavin Samuels. And so I'm just here to make sure that everything goes okay. Safety, security, everybody is safe. Everything runs okay. And I just run all over the place and make sure things happen.
First participation is not just about robots. It is proven to encourage students to pursue education and careers in so-called STEM-related fields. STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics.
Being a part of this team, what kind of skills do you think it gives you and the other kids?
Well, I think it gives us a lot of skills, to be honest. I think the programming software that we use is Java, and I think I've seen a lot of tech companies like Google, maybe not similar to Python or something like that, but it's a first step. Somewhere you can at least start off and you can maybe understand what programming is. On the engineering side, you can we use physics to do that, to do stuff like that. So we don't want a robot to have a certain weight limit, For example, the way the robot is balanced, you don't want it to offset. You don't want the back of the robot to be lighter than the front. You don't want 50-50 weight distribution. So stuff like that, we can transfer that to our real-world applications.
It develops our critical thinking skills or analytic skills, and it also improves our linguistic capabilities because we have to do several interviews. And it also, basically everything, it helps.
It also helps our fine motor skills. Those small screws and parts that we have to use, and it's beneficial for our careers moving forward.
We focus on problem solving through robotics and building collaboration, building teamwork skills, cooperation skills. All of these are the soft skills that we call 21st century skills in our students. So although it's about building a robot, it's really more about how we can work together, collaborate, and of course adhering to engineering principles, because schools now have to do what is called an engineering notebook that talks about how they did all they did leading up to building the robot and competing in the competition.
So my name is Philip Ludeling, and I am the Calabar Robotics First Tech Challenge coach. So I'm personally a software developer and I work professionally as a data analyst. But what really drives me to do robotics is because of its ability to solve problems and just to help the students to understand STEM and STEM a little bit more and to know how it can be used in the real world. So at first we actually introduced with a game, and we're introduced to a game video where we are given a problem and we are given what should be done and also how it should be done and how we can gain points. And from watching that video, we went through a series of engineering process, both for software engineering and for mechanical engineering and electrical engineering, just to find different ways we can solve the problem. And from that process, that's how we actually created the robot that you're seeing here.
So it is the students themselves who are building the robot?
Yes, the students have to build the robot. They are helped by an adult mentor or coach, right? But the adult mentor or coach is really just there to make sure that they take care of any issues related to consent and not have any trouble. Just as a monitor. But the students, and the way how the program is designed is that the materials that the students are able to use are so accessible to them that you don't really need an engineer or a programmer, right? They can figure it out, and that's what we want. We want them to have independent learning and collaborate with each other to learn and to figure out how to solve problems, right? And so we discourage really the mentors from doing the work. Just being there and being a facilitator and give advice maybe, right? But the students, and trust me, these guys solve problems that, we see them using the mathematics from their class, the physics from their class, they do fundraising, they use the social media, especially with COVID, because our last competition was in 2020, just before the pandemic was declared on March 10 in 2020. Our competition was February 19th or thereabouts, so we just barely missed it. And so we've been out for a little while, but the students have been doing things online. As you know, the world has changed. And so we're really, really happy that we are able to have a face-to-face competition this year because we've been out for 2 years, and so I'm elated.
At first, I think this is our third year.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, this is our third year entering this competition. Our first year, of course, we're novices, amateurs. We didn't really know anything, but the experience, seeing all the different robots, we got different ideas, and we came back better the other year. Last year we did really well, and this year we're here to do extremely well.
How old were you when you began?
15.
I was 13 at the time.
It was 13?
Yeah, I was
That
13
means I was
when
14.
started. I was also a part of Team Jamaica in 2019.
And I was a part of Team Jamaica for 2020 to 2021.
All I can say is that we are the defending champions for this competition. But because we were supposed to go to Texas in the world finals, but we didn't get to go because of the whole COVID-19 situation. So one of the things that we are trying to do this year is to try to recapture that title, so we can maybe at least have that world's experience.
Well, I wish you good luck, and I hope everything works out great for you.
All right, thank you.
Tech Challenge is an exciting and fun global robotics program that ignites an enthusiasm for science, technology and discovery in young people and teaches them STEM skills and concepts, principles of leadership and how to work as a team. The competitions are the results of focused brainstorming, dedicated mentoring, project timelines and teamwork to experience engineering problem solving firsthand. All of this helps children to think like scientists and engineers, provides a fun, creative, hands-on learning experience, and teaches kids to experiment and overcome obstacles. The skills they learn make maths and science tangible, accessible, and real, and teams also learn to document their design ideas and discoveries while building self-esteem and confidence.
How's your experience with the event?
Good event, yeah. We can come and meet people and just socialize overall due to this pandemic and so, have fun, yeah. I really enjoy the community of the people, their vibes and all that. They're just friendly and so.
What would you say to Jamaican children who are younger than you and they're thinking of what to do?
If you're interested, go for it. That's all.
As a woman, you may think, oh, I'm not as good as males, and sometimes you do get very intimidated. You should trust your instincts. We're all equals here, and you can do it.
Definitely.
You definitely can do it.
Competing with the help of robots is not the kind of sports Jamaica is known for yet. But seeing all this enthusiasm and passion these children shared, to me was such a breath of fresh air. Obviously, it's not surprising that in the 21st century, children all across the world have interest in science and technology and have the talents and skills for it. Jamaica is not an exception. What I do find surprising, though, is the lack of information in the media and that image when it comes to science and Caribbean countries, as if they're all about holidays and that's it, which is not true, of course. I hope you can share this video so more people would talk about it and more Jamaican children with passion for technology will know about these opportunities. And this will help them to develop their skills and cooperate with a lot of like-minded people. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have enjoyed this episode. More content about Jamaica is coming up soon, but until then, I'd like to remind everyone that this episode is sponsored by you, the audience. And of course, special thanks to our patrons, especially top-tier patrons, for their continued support. If you also wish to join them, please check the link to our Patreon page in the description below. I know that a lot of people are waiting for all the videos I promised, including the ones related to my first home country, Ukraine, that will be published on a different channel. As soon as I have that channel up and running, which should be around mid and April, I will share all the links with you. Once again, thank you for all the support, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.